The Bible in a year, day 51, Numbers 9 through 11. The Lord said to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first month of the second year following their departure from the land of Egypt, tell the Israelites to celebrate the Passover at the prescribed time. In the evening twilight of the 14th day of this month, you shall celebrate it at its prescribed time, in accordance with all its statutes and regulations. So Moses told the Israelites to celebrate the Passover, and they did celebrate the Passover on the 14th day of the first month during the evening twilight in the wilderness of Sinai, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So the Israelites did. There were some, however, who were unclean because of a human corpse, and so could not celebrate the Passover that day. These men came up to Moses and Aaron that same day and said to them, "Although we are unclean because of a human corpse, why should we be deprived of presenting the Lord's offering at its prescribed time, along with the other Israelites?" Moses answered them, "Wait so that I can learn what the Lord will command in your regard." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites. If any one of you or your descendants is unclean because of a human corpse or is absent on a journey, you may still celebrate the Lord's Passover. But you shall celebrate it in the second month on the 14th day of the month during the evening twilight, eating it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs, and not leaving any of it over till morning, nor breaking any of its bones, but observing all the statutes of the Passover. However, anyone who is clean and not away on a journey, who yet fails to celebrate the Passover, shall be cut off from the people for not presenting the Lord's offering at the prescribed time. That person shall bear the consequences of this sin. If an alien who lives among you would celebrate the Lord's Passover, it shall be celebrated according to the statutes and regulations for the Passover. You shall have the same law for the resident alien as for the native of the land. On the day when the tabernacle was erected, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the covenant. But from evening until morning it took on the appearance of fire over the tabernacle. It was always so. During the day the cloud covered the tabernacle, and at night had the appearance of fire. Whenever the cloud rose from the tent, the Israelites would break camp. Wherever the cloud settled, the Israelites would pitch camp. At the direction of the Lord, the Israelites broke camp, and at the Lord's direction they pitched camp. As long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle, they remained in camp. Even when the cloud lingered away many days over the tabernacle, the Israelites kept the charge of the Lord and would not move on. Yet it happened the cloud was over the tabernacle only for a few days. At the direction of the Lord, they stayed in camp, and at the Lord's direction, they broke camp. It happened the cloud remained there only from evening until morning. When the cloud rose in the morning, they would break camp. Whether the cloud lifted during the day or the night, they would then break camp. Whether the cloud lingered over the tabernacle for 2 days or for a month or longer, the Israelites remained in camp and did not break camp. But when it lifted, they broke camp. At the direction of the Lord, they pitched camp. At the Lord's direction, they broke camp and kept the charge of the Lord, as the Lord directed them through Moses. The Lord said to Moses, "Make 2 trumpets of silver, making them of hammered silver, for you to use in summoning the community and in breaking camp. When both are blown, the whole community shall gather around you at the entrance of the tent of meeting. But when one of them is blown, Only the tribal leaders, heads of the clans of Israel shall gather around you. When you sound the signal, those encamped on the east side shall break camp. When you sound the second signal, those on the south side shall break camp. When you sound the third signal, those encamped on the west side shall break camp. When you sound a fourth signal, those encamped on the north side shall break camp. Thus shall the signal be sounded for them to break camp. But in calling forth an assembly, you are to blow a blast without sounding the signal. The sons of Aaron the priest shall blow the trumpets. This is prescribed forever for you and your descendants. When in your own land you go to war against an enemy that is attacking you, you shall sound the alarm on the trumpets, and you shall be remembered before the Lord your God, and be saved from your foes. And when you rejoice on your festivals and your new moon feasts, you shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and your communion sacrifices, so that this serves as a reminder of you before your God. I, the Lord, am your God. In the 2nd year, on the 20th day of the 2nd month, the cloud rose from the tabernacle of the covenant, and the Israelites moved on from the wilderness of Sinai by stages until the cloud came to rest in the wilderness of Paran. This is the first time they broke camp at the direction of the Lord through Moses. The divisional camp of the Judahites, arranged in companies, was the first to set out. Over this whole company was Nahshon, son of Amminadab, with Nethanel, son of Zoar, over the company of the tribe of Issacharites, and Eliab, son of Helon, over the company of the tribe of the Zebulunites. Then after the tabernacle was dismantled, the Gershonites and the Merarites who carried the tabernacle set out. The divisional camp of the Reubenites, arranged in companies, was next to set out. Over its whole company was Elizur, son of Shedur, with Shemuel, son of Zorishadai, over the company of the tribe of Simeonites, and Elisa, son of Reuel, over the company of the tribe of Gadites. The Kohathites, who carried the sacred objects, then set out. Before their arrival, the tabernacle would be erected. The divisional camp of the Ephraimites set out next, arranged in companies. Over its whole company was Elishama, son of Ammihud, with Gamaliel, son of Pedahzur, over the company of the tribe of Manassites, and Abidan, son of Gideoni, over the company of the tribe of Benjamites. Finally, as rear guard for all the camps, the divisional camp of the Danites set out, arranged in companies. Over its whole company was Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, with Pagiel, son of Okran, over the company of the tribe of Asherites, and Ahira, son of Anan, over the company of the tribe of Naphtalites. This was the order of march for the Israelites, company by company, when they set out. Moses, son of Hobab, son of Reuel the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law. We are setting out for the place concerning which the Lord had said, I will give it to you. Come with us, and we will be generous toward you. For the Lord has promised prosperity to Israel. But he answered, No, I will not come. I am going instead to the land of my birth. Moses said, Please do not leave us. You know where we can camp in the wilderness, and you can serve us as our guide. If you come with us, we will share with you the prosperity the Lord will bestow on us. From the mountain of the Lord, they made a journey of 3 days, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them for the 3-day journey to seek out a resting place for them. As the cloud of the Lord was over them by day, they set out from camp. Whenever the ark was set out, Moses would say, "Arise, O Lord, may your enemies be scattered, and may those who hate you flee before you." And when it came to rest, he would say, "Bring back, O Lord, the myriads of Israel's troops."